Hey guys, and welcome back to Link's Awakening Speedrun Glitchless tutorial. Today we're going to be heading over to Angler's Tunnel. So as you noticed, we have to talk to good old Kepora Gebora again. Nothing too crazy. Once he's done talking here, then we get to move along our way. Dash and start. Now is when we really get to start just moving. Now we can really just start moving in this game. Make sure your cancels are on point. One thing I didn't mention before is like the difference between canceling with a sword slash and canceling with these cancels that we were talking about before is like for every 4 sword slashes, I think it is, you save like up to a second if you do nice. If you do just a actual dash cancel instead of a sword cancel. So we want to just uncover that teleport there real quick. We want to uncover this bush because we need to get an ocarina, we need to get Marin, my bad. I didn't say Malin. Did you say Malin? I didn't hear Malin. So to get this started, normally, oh, nice. Usually you want to hit here, and then over. This is all just simple routing stuff. Talk to this guy here, and then that unlocks her. That makes it so that we can find her at the beach, and then go on our little date. And we head over to this here. Now, when we're on this screen, instead of using the analog stick to move around, where you're here, I find the D-pad is quicker. Especially since you know where you're going to be going, so we know it's going to be 4 lefts. And then you can just pick it right away instead of watching the thing scroll. If you're not 100% with it yet, you know, you can easily just use the stick as well. It doesn't really matter. Just doing a little bit of optimizations. So before we go and see Marin, going to go ahead and over into this room here so that we can get our ocarina. I'm not going to describe, like, we're gonna slash these and do this. By this point, you should have a pretty decent grasp on the movement and such, so unless there's something that's kind of wacky about it, it's all pretty straightforward movement. Like dashing around corners. This is all stuff that we've gone over on the last episode. I like to do a slash here, just to knock that guy away. This one's actually kind of fun little swoops around. But there we go, ocarina. Now is when we can go. We have a lot of dashing to do. Actually, as far as overworld stuff goes, there isn't a lot left to do. I like to take that left one, just because then I can go straight down, go a little bit above the brick here. Should bring you just, sometimes you can clank on that guy. I thought it was low enough, or high enough, but maybe not. And then you can dodge through all that. I find it's just quicker to do that. I think dashing is only faster if it's like 3 or 4 squares. I think it's 4 squares or more. If there's more, because this game still works on like a square system, and as long as it's like 4 squares or more, it's worth dashing, and otherwise it's just better to walk, just because of the startup on it. So here you're just gonna be mashing B a lot. You're on your little date thing, and we just have to get through this, get to a point where we can say yes, and then we can actually go and take on Earthworm Jim. It's not really a worm, I guess, but it's fun to call stuff Earthworm Jim. Sue me. But really, there's only like 2 small tech things that we're going to be working on. Well, no, not entirely true. One small tech thing. Once we get to Dungeon 4. I'm going to do one episode for like the easier route, and then once this tutorial is done, I'll do the tougher route for it. Because there's like a bomb skip that we have figured out. By we, I mean totally not me. Make sure you dash around Marin, because you can actually bonk off of her. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you can bonk off of her, so, you know, don't. It's not worth it. Then we can head over here. There's another teleport. And then spam right till you get to good old Zoodorf. And we're coming up to, like I said, probably one of my least favorite mini-bosses. Not a fan. Not a fan. Okay, I somehow made that work. Wasn't supposed to work that way. I was supposed to hit the first bush and then go through the remaining 2, but, you know, this works too. So you just need to get this song done. Now this next section, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. This next bit is a bit RNG based. So don't try to rush it too much, because there's a few things that can go completely wrong. Especially if you're, like at this point, usually I'm sitting at about 4 hearts. And if you've taken any damage, and a bomb arrow, which could potentially hit you, will do 2 hearts. So it gets a little dangerous. We'll put it on. I like to get a spin slash waiting. You don't fall in the middle. And if he's close, you can spin slash and bomb arrow him. I'm not entirely sure if that hit, to be honest. If he's far away, then you can bomb arrow. And it should take like 2 or 3 bomb arrows and then maybe a slash. Make sure it doesn't fall in the middle either. Just start mashing A. If you're not confident with that, what you can do, or you don't want to use, because you need to make sure that you have at least, I recommend at least 4 arrows by the time you're done this. So if, say you're at 4 arrows and you don't want to use them anymore, you can easily just hold this. Jumping around is a bit easier because now you're not getting sucked in. Do your spin slash, follow him around, do your spin slash. He himself only does like 1 heart of damage. Just make sure you don't fall down, because if you fall down, you gotta run over this way, run over here, you pop back up, and then you have to basically do the boss over again. It's a real Moldorm style fight, which, not good. But now that we've got our key, head over this way, just do a small walk, because we're gonna see our good old Kepora Gebora again. It's got some yammering to do. There's actually a lot of cutscenes in, well, cutscenes. We're going to consider that a cutscene for now. There's actually a lot of cutscenes in this split. Just thinking about it now, because now we're going to go and learn Ballad of the Windfish from Marin. That being said, by this point, there isn't anything else that can really go wrong in this split. Barring from, like, you just run into a bunch of enemies or something. But there's a lot of health along the way if you need. We saw a tree before that had apples on it. If you are really hurting for health, you can dash into the tree and the apples will heal you. If there's just a little, because it's a new item, you're going to hold it above your head and be like, hey, look, an apple. And it will happen individually for a green apple and a red apple. So if you picked up, say, a red apple, try to make it so you only pick up red apples if you need. If you want to avoid, you know, another, well, you want to say yes. If you want to avoid another little cutscene thing, I'll show you kind of what I mean. But, yeah, they're different items technically. Alright. So we're going to head back to our good old teleporter here. Now, if you remember that, we're going to mash up. This is what we unlocked after Dungeon 2. It's all coming together now, guys. It's all coming together. Which means we can now dash over yonder. Sometimes, and I think it's just when I actually like cancel my dash. This is bad. The slash will actually do the 2 times damage. Here's one of the apples. This is what I was talking about. Pick this up, and then he goes, "Yay, you got a green apple." And the same thing will happen if you pick up a red apple. So now we just gotta head over to here, just so that we can unlock the dungeon. I like to stay low until about here. And then do this. Now, because we run past where we're actually heading to, there may be a time in your life, because I know it's happened to me about 10 times, where you will just head right to the dungeon, get there and be like, oops, I forgot to put in the key. So don't feel bad. You know, it happens to everybody. At some point, everyone's going to forget that they just didn't put the key in because you just really want to save that time, and maybe you got a little bit distracted off of something, you know, who knows. But more ladder stuff. But we want to head over to this here ladder. Now this next room, you can do it a couple of different ways. You can hop down this way, if you so desire. I don't like it that much. I like to come up the middle. And there is one little thing that I'm playing around with. It's kind of inconsistent, but maybe it just requires more. But you can do like a dash, but I'm not very comfortable with it yet. But you know, give it a shot if you want. Dash down and hope that these keys, sometimes these keys will just hit you. It's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. Then we can just pop on through here. Do a dash like so, do a dash like so, and then we just need to drop into the dungeon and away we go. Easy. Easy stuff. So there you go, guys. We are now inside Angler's Tunnel. So we're gonna put the live split on right after this, and happy grinding, guys.
You